Live now. In 1 minute, we'll be going live at sharp 4 o'clock. Okay, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So now you can hear me. That's fine. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to all the principals, educators, stakeholders, and teachers who have joined us today in this 1 hour webinar. As you all know, we are into the series of introduction of skill modules webinars. And after the orientation, we had the pottery, the bakery, and the khadi, and not to say how to make graphic novels. And today we are sitting here to discuss about block printing and how to introduce this particular module into the school system. Primarily, we were talking about introducing it to the students of 6th to 8th standard. And in a way, we can say that over a period of 5 days or 10 days that we have been interacting with all the stakeholders, we have come down to an aspect where we say it can be given to a student of 9th class, 10th class, 11th, or 12th, because we are basically targeting these skill modules, something that we've always been doing in our school ecosystem, vis-a-vis our hobby classes, vis-a-vis our eco clubs, vis-a-vis our theater clubs, or a similar activity that have been a part and parcel of our school system, also as to say our extracurricular activities also. Very interesting thing that came around was a lot of teachers and faculty are still inquiring about how to get these skill modules. I'll just repeat it for those people who are not yet aware about it. We had a circular number 48, which talked about the introduction of the skill modules, and it has all the links of the study material or the modules that are available on our skill education website. You have to just go to a CBSE academic website. There we have the skill education section, and under books we have middle schools with all the skill modules available there. And in that particular circular that I'm talking about, there has also been a mapping of the existing teachers who can take up a particular module as defined in the circular. Not to take much of your time, there was one small thing which again I would like to put in forth, because there are still queries coming in, and these skill modules are basically 12 to 15 hours of modules, wherein there is more of the skilling or the project that is involved. That is 70% of the project work, and 30% is your academic orientation. So kindly go through it and you'll get all the details. So coming to today's 1 hour session, we are into making of block printing scenarios in our schools, and the module is catering to the block printing. We all know it is the process of printing patterns by means of engraved wooden blocks. And I should say it's not only wooden blocks. I think there are n number of things that can act as the block printing. And all these school teachers would, and especially the primary school teachers, will really, really agree with me, because there are times when they use the potatoes, or they use what to say, a brinjal or a lady finger to have those shapes and dip it in colors and try to make different designs for the students. So it's a similar ethos that goes with the block printing also. And I would just say that block printing is something that, not being an expert, but I still can feel that way back in Indus Valley civilization also we had talked about a similar type of patterns that were available to them and they were using at that time. So the best thing is that I would look forward to these sort of things coming from our panelists and briefing us what is block printing all about, and how it can be implemented as a module in our school ecosystems, and how the students and the teaching fraternity can really enjoy this particular genre of the creative art. Over to you, Sandeep Sethi sir, to take the session forward. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining with us. And we are looking forward to this amazing 1 hour session ahead of us. Thank you so much. Sandeep Sethi, over to you.
Thank you so much, Riti ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Very good. Thank you so much. So, friends, principals, teachers, whoever are listening to us, the beautiful thing which has happened in the past 1.5 years is when NEP brought out the reason and the cause for us to put this all into a routine, systematic, procedural form. So this all happened, and Mr. Saha brought up this issue that we should be making manuals. The entire team of skill education was behind us. And what merged was when we asked principals to come on board, we got certain crafts of that particular city and the state. So, like block printing. So, when we picked up block printing in Rajasthan, we realized that block printing is not just of Rajasthan, it's of many different states. So, the history of block printing came up very beautifully. But what fascinated me more was the day the chairperson CBSE was presenting the orientation to us, where we realize that we don't need to stick to one art, one skill for a school. You can have various skills depending upon the faculties that you have, the teachers that you have. And also, a child need not do just one skill, he can do two or three more in the school itself. So, that was the most beautiful thing happening. Of course, it all depends upon what sort of infrastructure the school provides you with. So we've been really working hard last year for 1 year, and most of the schools did make pilot projects, and they worked out everything in the school, and that is why the working team is present in front of you to talk to you, and you can talk to them, asking about the problems that they've had, what infrastructure is required, what facilities are required, and so on. The project does not end here today. We have total 13 working days. Today is merely a sixth day, wherein we are covering 13 vocational skill manuals. And apart from that, today itself we begin the next phase of the manual, where we have a target of making around 25 more. So in case you're interested, hook up a group, just get in touch with CBSE and they'll tell you how your school can make a manual for your particular craft of the liking of your school teacher of your particular state. So what I'm looking at is now diversified country of ours, so many states, so many art and crafts, and so much more is going to happen. So here we begin with block printing. Block printing, we all know, is wooden concept related to long, many years, centuries back, and it has been all the times of. If you talk about indigo, indigo was used for blocks. Indigo was used for dyes. So it goes down to that many number of years as per the Mohenjo-daro and the Harappan civilization. So it's such a beautiful thing to introduce history along with particular blocks. And you realize that block printing does require a lot of water. So it also started in places where there was water because there's a lot of washing to be done. Handmade paper, washing has to be done. Anything to do with colors, washing has to be done. And the beauty is also that as certain rivers dried up, this trade had to shift from certain cities to different places. And in Jaipur, what we saw in Rajasthan was that it had to leave the block which is known there as the Sanganeri block printing. So Sanganeri block printing, the people had to leave Sanganer city because the river had dried up and the water was getting highly polluted. So then the block makers shifted, created a new suburb for themselves where they created rainwater reharvesting, and that is where they started using that water for the blocks. So it was, a whole cooperative movement coming up there with all people joining hands. This all we learned during the research of a project. Another interesting thing that, of course, Arshi ma'am and team is going to talk to you. But what more you should keep in mind is start exploring your locality, go to those handloom houses of your states, and why only of your state? Go and visit other handloom houses also of different states if they're there in your city. We are going to get a lot of knowledge of what is happening in each state. So, like I'm in NT building right now, I definitely go to tribes every morning just to try to peek and see what more is coming up there. So let the children get a hang of visiting handloom homes, seeing what is being served there, and understanding which state things are coming from and why is it so famous there. So today the focus is going to be on Tagore International School, Jaipur, who have created three modules. Of course, we did call them 6th, 7th, 8th earlier, but now we call them Manual 1, Manual 2, Manual 3, and over to Arshima for her team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to the galaxy of intellectuals present over here. I am
Good
here with
evening,
my
ma'am.
team. Good evening, ma'am. And before moving further, I would like to hand over the presentation to Nisha, ma'am, who is going to take us further on the ride of block printing and manuals. So over to Nisha, ma'am.
Greetings and namaskar to all. I, on behalf of TIS team and fraternity, accord a warm genial welcome to all the dignitaries from the Central Board of Secondary Education, directors, principals, head of the institutions across India, education fraternity of the entire nation, galaxy of intellectuals and teachers. Indeed, gratitude is an inseparable part of learning and taking this ahead. I, before beginning, like to thank the Honorable CBSE Chairperson, Director CBSE Skill Development, Dr. Biswajit Saha, Mrs. Niti Shankar Sharma Ma'am, the Deputy Secretary Skill Education, Mr. R.P. Singh, Joint Secretary Skill Education, the entire IT department of CBSE, and for giving us this wonderful opportunity of developing skill-based modules. And also, I would like to extend a warm gratitude to Sandeep Sethi sir for his able and efficient leadership, as it is he who had made it possible for all the schools to come together to collaborate. And it is under his efficient leadership that we began with the basic framework to conceptualization, to further disseminating and sharing the experience with the other schools, challenges and relevance of the modules, keeping in context with the NEP 2020 among the education fraternity across nation. I would also like to thank the entire team of CBSE for bringing us together and giving us such a wonderful platform where we can share, we can collaborate, and also we can interact so as to pass the baton of knowledge and guidance of various skills-based modules to be adopted in school curriculum in the coming years. It is indeed a great matter of honor and opportunity for Team PIS to be a part of this global forum developed for the exchange of ideas with educationists across India. Developing manuals on skill-based learning was indeed a brilliant opportunity for each one of us. It helped us rather to dig deep into the minds of opportunities hidden in this art form that is block printing. Here I would like to quote, "She is an old soul with new style, who wears all colors of creativity and intrinsic love, and elegantly speaks her mind, so powerful as she leaves her prints on everyone's mind." Here, I would like to take you all across the realm of block printing through a small teaser by our block printing club. Block printing rightly belongs to each Indian and has been a part and parcel of the cultural heritage of art form, and surely it needs no introduction. For Prince may come and Prince may go, but block printing goes on forever and ever. The manuals on block printing are an attempt to give an introduction to the ancient art form Indian block printing by giving a vivid hand-on learning experience among young learners. If anyone amongst us today or among the budding learners has ever dreamt of bringing about designing your own fabric to turn into a home decor item or a piece of art or clothing or a million other things, then surely you all will love learning this art form through our modules developed, designed, and drafted by TIS committee. To talk about it, block printing is simple, easy, and requires minimal infrastructural inputs and is indeed extremely versatile so as to explore it. For India, block printing holds a place of pride. The age-old craft of dyeing and coloring, as Sandeep Sethi sir said, using a fabric with wood block has been perfected over the years. It requires planning and strategizing of resources to implement this. Taking it further, surely, the module on block printing has been designed keeping in mind the skill-based learning as the foundation stone for new education system to usher and grow and to fulfill the major objectives of NEP 2020. Taking it ahead, not to forget, the traditional process of hand block printing on textiles with rich colors has been practiced in Rajasthan for around 500 years by Chipa community. The word chipa comes from the word dye or to stamp, as the connotation indicates. The community primarily consists of people who dye and print on cloth. It is for everyone sitting here who isn't a fan of a vegetable dyed bagru design or bandage or lehriya. I guess everybody sitting here. Not just that the art falls under the handicraft tag and employs the people of the Chipa community. Let me tell you that this art form is unique and is GI tagged and is one among the 11 GI tag birds of Rajasthan. This is why I should say that drafting committee of TIS chose to focus on block printing so as to carry the legacy of this rich heritage of block printing ahead. With this, I would like to invite my colleague, Mrs. Divya Pant, to share further the relevance of the model and the art form in present-day context. Over to you, Divya ma'am.
Thank you, Nisha ma'am. So, why block printing the skill-based education? Fashion is armor to survive the reality of everyday life. Style and confidence require knowing yourself and wearing what you feel best in. Fashion is like eating. You should not stick to the same menu. So, how can our young generation, teenagers, remain untouched by the same? When they look around everywhere, block printing from their mother's saris to father's kurtas, from bed sheets to cushions and curtains of the living room. So, block printing is evergreen, is trends. Too much scope and possibility to enhance the creativity of the students. Fashion and block printing are a big and profitable industry, so always in big demand at domestic and global markets both. It's a bright opportunity to become an entrepreneur in the field of block printing. So if we collaborate our goal with the nation's goal, we can save the art from this extinction. We can pass the legacy to the next generation. And above all, meeting our goals with national education policy, our student will turn into job creators rather than job seekers. Now coming to the interdisciplinary approach of block printing with other subjects. Interdisciplinary studies combine subject areas to find synergy, creative solutions, and new perspectives. When we talk about the origin and historical background of block printing, we relate it to China, Indus Valley civilization. Through Silk Route, our students automatically connects with history, physical and climatic conditions for block printing, weaving bright shine to dry the clothes after tie and dyeing process, regional study about the Chipa community who actually introduced block printing in Rajasthan. Somewhere we are connecting our students to geography. Art and creativity comes when there will be a carving of various floral motifs, pics of animals, birds, human beings, goddesses on the blocks and printing on the fabric. Various geometrical designs of block printing like square shape, rectangular shape, circles, triangles, rhombus, octagon, pentagon, etc. is including mathematics. When the question comes of the dyeing process, we use natural and synthetic dyes. Their perfect measurements, chemical reactions, how much water to be added, and then mixture of two colors will lead to which color. Our young minds will learn chemistry. There is a poem, Weavers, by Sarojini Naidu. Their student can relate many more things and learn about the lives of weavers. और जहां हिंदी में कबीर दास जी की बात आती है, जो कि स्वयं ही पेशे से एक जुलाहे और बुनकर थे, उनके दोहों के द्वारा हम बच्चों को बुनकरों और उनके जीवन से संबंधित जानकारी दे सकते हैं. And of course, our young generation will have a knowledge of future entrepreneurship when they will understand the contribution of block printing to the GDP of the country, status in domestic global market, low investment, high profits, like our students will look forward for their future too. Now, most fascinating and thrilling part for the schools to implement block printing in their curriculum is its low-cost infrastructure. School HR team need not to employ a separate teacher. Our existing art faculty can be best utilized. Some interested and experienced parents can also be the helping hands. Minimum utilization of tools and heavy machinery. There is no need of large space. Only one room in a school premises is enough to start our block printing club. Easy availability of colors and blocks in all across India because all available online nowadays. Right now, why the focus is on 6th, 7th and 8th standard only? As they are raw mind, they can easily adapt themselves and also adopt anything at this stage. Skill education will build their self-esteem, confidence, leadership skills, and decision-making skills. Best utilization of bagless days at this level. Very easy to adjust in their academic calendar. There is much possibility to incorporate it up to senior level also in future. Yes, indeed. It's an attractive option to become a job creator or entrepreneur. Today's young generation is already familiar and accustomed with fashion and dressing style. So it will be easy for them to get in the world of block printing. Big demand in global fashion world as handmade art get more preference than machine-made items. To promote the art, our young entrepreneurs, government has started many schemes and programs. Low investment, high profit returns will attract young ones to plan for the future. Moreover, it will enhance the self-esteem, confidence of our future citizens, which will make our country stronger. Now, to get first-hand experiential learning, we visited to Rangotri Art Production at Jaipur. There, we met the people who had deep knowledge of this art and understood all the nuances related to the process and finally began our journey to develop the content, the skill manual for block printing at first, second, and third level. Now, for the deeper understanding of the skill manual, over to our Vice Principal Ma'am, Mrs. Arshid Malik. Over to ma'am.
Over to ma'am.
Thank you, Divya ma'am. So before delving into the details, I would like to share our apprehensions before going for block printing as viewing and appreciating and doing a poles apart. In order to gain the first hands-on experience, we as a team went to Rangotri Productions. The team was well guided and informed by the experts present there. We returned as charged irons and started thinking on the same line as how to proceed a block printing club in our school. So, in between the execution and planning, we had many deliberations with Sandeep sir, the interns, and many other experts of the field who gave us a detailed picture of the skill. As a result, the very first step was to make the most versatile level of students aware of the same. So in grades 6 to 8, that is L1, L2, and L3, we announced about block printing, making it sound more interesting and unique. Interested students enrolled themselves, and so we started block printing club in our school. The room with proper setup was all ready to start and buzz. Age appropriate blocks were purchased and displayed. During initial classes, we took the class to the production houses at the local factories, especially at Sanganer. They personally met the Chipa community people and the laborers who were religiously working as in this long lineage skill. All this triggered the interest of the students in this skill. Simultaneously, the curriculum of this was the field trip to Pink City Industry, where the children gained the first-hand experience before coming into the curriculum. So then the turn came for the curriculum. The curriculum of 6 to 8 was planned, sent to NCRT for approval, and after a big yes, a green signal, we bifurcated the syllabi of block printing, as already told you, as per the age and the levels, keeping in mind. So we started with the very first step of weaving. As the student should know what is weaving all about, how a cloth is weaved. So this is the practical demonstration that the art teacher gave before we started with the weaving chapter. So this is all about warped and weft, the kinds of weaving, the process, which actually created interest among the students. So this is all about weaving, the very first hand-on experience that we started with weaving. So this is the end product. So this is how the first activity was to make tea coasters. Then the second chapter, that is all common in all the levels, so that is L1, L2, L3, it is introduction of block printing. An old age lineage that has helped Rajasthan to carve a niche in the world for the exquisite printing and dyeing. So here we displayed all kinds of blocks. The children were informed about the colors, the patterns, the motifs, about jal, buta, booty. We have blocks carved of animals, motifs, flower, the boundaries. The club members were actually involved. They learned how to carve, then how to reprint, then how to add 3 colors. How to put a long lasting impression with the third. So this was all about block printing. The students are still doing Then we started with the vegetable printing, as ma'am already said. So this is the thread printing. The children have learned how to maneuver it very well with their hands. They know how to mix colors. Initially, we started with fabrical colors, the fabric colors. Now we came to vegetable printing. So this is level 1, L1. This is L1, doing with lady finger and potato later. But here we are showing for lady finger. The students have been informed about the different shapes, sizes, and materials used to carve a block. So this chapter about block printing speaks at length about all the tools, different shapes, colors, blocks, designs, the prerequisites of all block printing, the tables, and the colors. So this time they did it with 3 colors. Later on, they'll be putting glitter also. Next, we come to block printing and making our students aware of synthetic dyes as well as natural dyes. And for this also, a field trip was organized where they saw the natural dyes and synthetic dyes. They observed the difference. Last but not the least came the chapter of survival to revival. The most prominent aspect of any skill is survival and revival. How to survive under minimal amenities and how to pass this art of block printing to posterity is also a matter of concern. Through this skill, we will try to develop aesthetic skills, and children will also appreciate the hard work of the laborers involved in block printing directly or indirectly. So, reading about the survival, watching movies, videos related to it would surely instigate learners to develop compassion and respect for the laborers and the artist. Then comes the concept of revival. We as a unit have to come together to help the artisans get due appreciation, facilities in our own way. At least we will be able to create awareness at this very tender age. So, this chapter speaks about the solutions and suggestions also. Lastly, what we have planned is all the exhibits of the artifacts will be displayed in an exhibition which would be installed in school premises. The collection of the sale would proceed to an orphanage, which we have been going to, and which will directly motivate students as they will do a noble cause of being a responsible and an aware student. The outcome of the skill-based manual emphasizes on learning by doing, thereby fostering entrepreneurship skills, creative and aesthetic skills at an early stage. In the manuals, we have also incorporated worksheets which are activity based, and there are certain pages for the activities that were recommended as the levels, that is level 1, level 2, level 3, and all these recommended activities are there to in order to sustain the interest of the students. Lastly, celebration of National Handloom Day in the morning assembly will be held by and organized by the school block printing club members, and it's all planned in the annual activity calendar. Now I hand over the presentation to Anita Gupta ma'am, who runs the block printing club. She is going to share her own experience.
Good evening, everyone. I am happy to announce that we have started block printing club in our school. जैसे कि अर्शी मैम ने बताया है, हमने बेसिक से स्टार्ट किया है. ब्लॉक पेंटिंग फैब्रिक पे स्टार्ट करने से पहले हमने स्टूडेंट्स को विविंग का प्रोसेस सिखाया है। विविंग में हमने वार्प एंड वेफ्ट का कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर किया है। लेवल 1, लेवल 2 के स्टूडेंट्स को हमने विविंग पैटर्न पेपर पर सिखाया है। हमने लेवल 1 एंड लेवल 2 स्टूडेंट्स को वीविंग से टेबल मैट एंड टेबल रनर बनाना सिखाया है। लेवल 3 स्टूडेंट्स ने वीविंग विद वूल से टी कोस्टर बनाना सीखा है। यहाँ पर मैं आपसे एक इंसिडेंट शेयर करना चाहूँगी। जब मैं स्टूडेंट्स को पेपर वीविंग मैट सिखा रही थी, तब कुछ स्टूडेंट्स ने साइंस की बुक में पेपर वीविंग एक्टिविटी के बारे में मुझे बताया। दिस वे स्टूडेंट्स आर लर्निंग बाय डूइंग द थिंग्स प्रैक्टिकली। आफ्टर वीविंग प्रोसेस, लेवल 1 एंड लेवल 2 के स्टूडेंट्स को हमने ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग, पेपर मैट और रनर पर सिखाया। लेवल 3 को हमने ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग मास्क पर करवाई। ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग स्टार्ट करने से पहले हमने स्टूडेंट्स को ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग वर्कशॉप विजिट करवाई। इससे रिलेटेड हमने स्टूडेंट्स को मूवीज भी दिखाई, चीपा कम्युनिटी के बारे में भी स्टूडेंट्स को बताया। प्रिंटिंग हमने स्टूडेंट्स को लेवल वाइज करवाई है। लेवल 1 स्टूडेंट्स ने मैट लेडी फिंगर से, थ्रेड प्रिंटिंग से एंड स्मॉल ब्लॉक्स विथ सिंगल कलर से स्टार्ट किया है। लेवल 2 एंड लेवल 3 के स्टूडेंट्स ने सिंगल कलर, डबल कलर एंड ट्राई कलर से ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग करना सीखा है। स्टूडेंट्स ने जब ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग से मास्क बनाकर रेडी किए, तब सब स्टूडेंट्स ने ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग मास्क को फैमिली मेंबर्स को, रिलेटिव्स को और अपने फ्रेंड्स को भी गिफ्ट किए। दिस मेक्स मी फील वेरी हैप्पी कि स्टूडेंट्स हैंडमेड मास्क बनाकर अपने क्लोज वंस को गिफ्ट भी कर रहे हैं। Parents also appreciated this activity. We will organize exhibition of block printing article in our school. हमने समर हॉलीडेज के लिए भी स्टूडेंट्स को ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग मास्क मेकिंग एक्टिविटी का टास्क भी दिया है। यह मास्क स्टूडेंट्स मॉर्निंग असेंबली में 4 ग्रेड एम्प्लॉयज को गिफ्ट करेंगे। इट्स रियली फील ग्रेट कि स्टूडेंट्स मास्क बनाकर उनको गिफ्ट भी कर रहे हैं। Regarding colors, we are using poster colors on paper and pigment colors and acrylic colors on the fabric. We are using different types of blocks like booty, buta, whale, animal figure, geometrical design, traditional design, etc. Over to you, Aishi ma'am.
Would you please play the videos? As ma'am, some technical glitches here. We are waiting for the videos to be played, so within a minute or two, we'll start our videos. In the meantime, Anita ma'am will continue with more of the activities, ma'am. For the blocks, you may continue.
We have made runners and tablecloth with the block printing. We have made organdy table runners with the block printing method. We have also decorated the weaving pattern with the block printing method. We have mixed and matched the things also.
Yeah, I think in the meantime, we can do one thing, ma'am. Arshi, ma'am, we have a lot of queries also coming in. So side by
Fine,
side,
ma'am.
we can
So
take
we'll entertain them. Fine, ma'am. Absolutely. Till we get
we can
back to
take
the
them,
videos.
and then we can get back to the video.
Fine,
One
ma'am.
of the queries that I am getting here on the platform here is that can the students make these blocks? And
Fine, ma'am. I think Anita, ma'am, can the students make the blocks? Please answer.
Ma'am, I
Ma'am, I
think
think
she's the
she's the
best
best
person to
person to
answer.
answer.
She's the answer.
Please answer.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
we easily get this block from the market. Different types of blocks are available in the market,
okay,
and it's not very costly also. We can make the blocks with the matchstick for the level 1 and level 2. हम थ्रेड से प्रिंटिंग करके बच्चों को सिखा सकते हैं, हम लेडी फिंगर को एज अ ब्लॉक यूज़ कर सकते हैं, हम थ्रेड्स और डिफरेंट वेजिटेबल्स को भी एज अ ब्लॉक यूज़ करके उससे प्रिंटिंग कर सकते हैं.
okay. Thank you
And
so much, ma'am.
Also, we can use the linoleum sheet, which is very soft and children can easily carve on that. And we can take those designs to the local artisans and get the designs ready on wood carving, because wood carving really needs a real artisan and skills. So we can do at school level this thing, and
Okay,
which we have incorporated in the level third, class 8.
okay,
ma'am,
fine.
actually, I also feel we can go for the block, in case if the carpenter comes here and we can carve very small motifs, right? So we can easily do it. But very small motifs we can do. We cannot go an elaborated one. Yes, we can do it in the presence of a carpenter, somebody who is skilled at that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that
So
that was
please,
very useful. I think all those
yes, ma'am.
information.
That will be very useful in case if children are going to get it, because the delicate and the intricate patterns cannot be carved. But we can go for a very smaller one, like we go for a potato or a lady finger kind of. So we can go for that. Ma'am,
Okay,
my videos are ready. Would you please like to see the videos?
sure, please go ahead.
Ma'am, this was the visit that we went. The very first time on experience, my children they got it. We went to Sanganeri. Sanganeri, all the local factories, they themselves talk to the Chippa community. Next, sir. So this is the teaser of all the activities that we have done so far. Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, this was the last video of the presentation. Now we
Okay.
are ready for all the questions.
Thank you so much. I think this was a wonderful presentation, and we should quickly take up the questions that I'm getting it from the various platforms. A few of the principals and the teachers, they just want to know that apart from the resources that have already been mentioned during your presentation, is there anything specific that is required to start such an activity in the school?
Find them, Anita, ma'am. Ma'am, the basic requirement are the tables, the tools.
Yes, ma'am. The basic requirement is table, stools, blocks, and required material like paper, cloth, etc. Colors.
And colors, ma'am, naturally we go for the natural colors rather than going for the synthetic colors.
Yes, ma'am. On the paper, we are using posture colors, and on fabric, we are using pigment colors and acrylic colors, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that was, a good answer to the query here. Another very small question that I got it is, basically, I think it has been mentioned, but again, there was a query which talked about the investment. It is well explained that it is a very low cost effective preposition if you take up this activity in your school, but still if one wants to start it as a hobby or as a club, so would it be like you'll have to designate a separate room, then you will be having that basic table structure or the loom or the whatever basics that are required to really come out and make a product that is displayed or that is presentable enough for the kids.
Fine, ma'am. See, initially, ma'am, we started in a classroom and we have big, airy, ventilated classroom. So the basic classroom that everybody has, one thing. Secondly, the tables are not special kind of. It's the regular school furniture. The thing is only that we have to put something very hard because of the impression. So the sheets are there, some particular sheets are there, and that is not at all costly. And plus the blocks which I showed, and I'll be showing it, they're very small blocks, which we get at a very minimal cost at Sangane itself. In case if we really want to carve our own, so we can go for a carpenter as well. Rest, I think Anita ma'am will tell about the colors and all. आपको लगता है ये थोड़ा कॉस्टली अफेयर है अनीता मैम?
मैम स्मॉल ब्लॉक्स कॉस्टली नहीं है, 3 कलर सेट कई बार कॉस्टली होता है, लेकिन दीज आर इजीली अवेलेबल ऑन द शॉप्स. हम स्टूडेंट्स भी इजीली अवेलेबल मार्केट से इसको परचेज कर सकते हैं, या अगर मैचस्टिक से ब्लॉक्स बनाना चाहें तो वो भी स्टूडेंट्स इजीली उस पर डिज़ाइन ड्रॉ करके मैचस्टिक पेस्ट करके भी ब्लॉक्स बना सकते हैं.
So, ma'am, it is not at all an costly affair. We can start. I mean, the schools can start as soon as they wish to.
Okay, wonderful. And another question on the similar lines was that what are the different fabrics or resources? Say so as to say, one ma'am Manisha was asking, can we make it on foam? So we can make it on foam or plastic or glass and things like that. And what are the different modalities that are required? If say we make it on fabric, then the type of colors or the type of things that are required for fabric might be very different for a foam and can be really different when it comes to glass or metal or any such things. So that's about
When talking for grade, 6 to 8, it will be very difficult for them to carve on a glass or something. But we can go on a poster
your voice is
size
echoing.
again, Anita ma'am, for glass, right? Anita ma'am, she'll be the best person to tell you about. Anita ma'am,
Ma'am, for the
Anita ma'am,
level
she'll be
6
the
and
best person
7,
to tell you
we
about.
can
Anita ma'am,
do block printing on the paper. And for the level 8, we can use cotton cloth for block printing. मैम ग्लास पे हम ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग नहीं कर सकते.
अच्छा, बिकॉज मेरे को भी थोड़ा वो लगा था और किसी ने ये क्वेश्चन किया था, तो आई थिंक इट इज वेरी क्लियर. आई थिंक फॉर अ स्कूल सिस्टम और फॉर अ ब्लॉक प्रिंटिंग वी आर नॉट मेकिंग इट ऑन ग्लास.
Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am. Yes,
safety we have to see for the student. They are too fragile also. So we will not suggest for the
safety we have
glasses,
to
but
see
we
for the
might go
student
for
for the
different
glasses,
materials
but
of
we might go
fabrics.
for different kinds of fabrics.
On glass, we can use glass colors.
Okay, fine. Actually, your systems get a little echo because I think two people are in the same room speaking, if I'm not wrong. So when two are speaking, there's a lot of echo, so it doesn't get clear. But still, I think we got our answer that was asked by Manisha ma'am. And I'll just be putting in one or two more questions. If anybody else on the forum has any question, they can put in. Otherwise, I can just pick up one or two which are still, pending to be answered by the team. If you want to share anything, the panel there. So in that case, I'll just take the next question. The next question is as usual a very pertinent to this particular module, and it talks about what made you pick up this topic, or what made you pick up this block printing to be taken up in your school and to be converted into a module. It's a very general question, but I think
Ma'am, it must be very evident. The answer must be very evident because see, everybody is wearing some or the other thing of block printing, right? So it is obvious. And secondly, we all belong to Rajasthan. That's the hub of block printing. So this is the thing that triggered us, to go for block printing. The vibrant colors. Moreover, it's the art that can be taken to posterity, and children would love to do that because fashion is changing day by day. This is the only reason that we chose block printing. And
fine.
in case if my team members would like to add, ma'am, anything? Would you like to add?
I believe that it's time for us that, as ma'am discussed, that it's time for us to move from survival to revival of our own culture and our own heritage. And as I said, that when we looked into block printing, we could find the minds of opportunity not only for the childrens and the children even having a small creative mind. That could be used to usher in a lot more creativity, and it's much more friendly for them because children really love colors and they really are creative with not with much of infrastructure and all the needs. So primarily the TIS committee was more focused on giving him a hand-on learning experience and also giving them the knowledge of the inherited culture that we have in the form of block printing, since Jaipur in itself is a hub. So why not block printing rather than looking for another options? It was the best one and a bang on one for the team TIS to move on with this concept of block printing.
Okay, thank you, Nisha ma'am. Thank you so much. And I think we are at the end of our session
Thank you,
now.
ma'am.
So if Sandeep Sethi is there, he would come in and put in his last words. Otherwise, we can wrap up the session. I think he had to go for a meeting, so he must have left the forum by now. So on behalf of our chairperson CBSC, the director skill education, the director IT, and all the stakeholders who have been a part of the introduction of the skill modules, making the skill modules and implementing it in their own school systems, and are here with us today as resource team also. Thank you very much. And I think this was a very well conceived session for an hour, where we talked about everything ranging from how we can interlink this particular art form with history, with geography, with chemistry, with maths, and how the children can really enjoy being a part of this particular hobby, we can say, a skill, we can say, an art, we can say, or whatever nomenclature we want to give it. But at the end of the day, I think it is something which can bring a sort of creativity and a passion and a fun filled session for everybody once they are into that particular lab or that particular class. We had one teacher by Meenu Mendirata. She says it reminds me of going back to my childhood. So if faculty also goes along with the kids and starts doing a block printing with a vegetable or a potato or with a hand block, I think we all can agree with her that it can take us back to our childhood. So thank you for very much for this very interactive session, and we all enjoyed it thoroughly. And the type of responses that we are getting on the YouTube and other platforms speaks volumes. I always say in my session that the amount of schools or the number of schools that would take up this particular session would in turn speak about how the session has gone today, because we are always speaking about learning outcomes. So for us, the learning outcome is how many schools will really take up this particular skill module in this academic session and the sessions to come by. Thank you so much. And if there is anything else that need to be put in, we can have 1 minute more. Arshi, ma'am, if you have anything in the others. Otherwise, we are off for a day. And just to add to it, tomorrow we have again a very traditional and a very interesting session, and that is on mask making. So stay tuned, same place, same time, with another set of resource persons who will be really happy to come together and present their experience into creating something so beautiful, as if a manual on mask making. And mask making in itself is something which I think I can see everybody smiling there on the panel, and I think on the YouTube also, if I can have that vision. So thank you so much. It was really a wonderful session today, and thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank,
Nisha is entirely. Thank you.
thank you all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.